I'll walk you through this. So this is a tutorial on how to do poetry analysis. The poem that I'm using is The Road Not Taken, which is a very famous and oft-taught poem. And the steps in analyzing a poem are to read it, to paraphrase it, to outline it, and to write about it. And so here we've got a fork in the road not taken. So on a literal level, which way do you go and what are the consequences? And the road not taken really is about a choice, about making a choice in life. And there's a road not taken in the woods. Which direction? So we have some little sensation of what the poem's about just based on the title itself. Now we go into the paraphrasing. So here's the poem proper. It's 4 stanzas, The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. And I'll just put it here to show you the paraphrasing. So basically, we don't understand lines of verse. We don't read a ton of poetry in our lives, but what we read is prose or full sentences. So if we translate the poem from verse into sentences, it makes it much easier for us to understand. So I've taken the first stanza here and then paraphrased it. So just look at the poem for a moment. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. So if I take these ideas and I paraphrase them into my own words, I might say, there were 2 roads that separated onto different paths. I was only one person standing there, and I stood there trying to see as far as I could down that particular path. Then the second stanza, then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for the passing there, had worn them, that should be worn, them really about the same. And translating that, then I decided to take the other path, which was just as inviting. And I thought for a moment it appeared to maybe be a better choice. However, when I began that direction, I realized the 2 roads were about the same. So you can see how much easier it is to understand it once we've paraphrased it. The next 2 stanzas. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. And the paraphrase? On the deciding morning, I decided neither path had been really worn out, but I kept the first path because I'd chosen it, and I was doubtful that I would ever come back and try the other direction. The last stanza, I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Paraphrase, looking into the future, I know that one day when I look back to this day, I'll know that I had a moment of choice and a path to take. And I will know that I took the path that fewer took, and that as a result, the effect of that decision will have made all the difference in my life. So look through your paraphrase, just write it beside the poem, and that will help you understand things quite a bit better. So then just looking and saying, what would the theme be? Well, it has to be about decision making, the fork in the road, which direction to go. What will the effects of that be? So stanza 1 shows the fork. Stanza 2 looks down the path and what's going to happen. Stanza 3 notices they're both the same but different too. And stanza 4 is, I'm going to make a choice and I'm going to be content with it. I'm going to look at this choice as having been the right one. So that gives us all our substance in understanding the poem. So if we were going to write, and the topic was, discuss theme in The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost, then here might be our topic sentence. And remember, we're following standalone structure that we learned the very first lesson in W1. So you might want to review that. So our topic sentence states our main idea. In life, there are decisive moments. The second sentence states the author and title. In Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken, the speaker tells of a day where he came upon a fork in the road. In this poem, the road is a metaphor for life choices. One person, confronted with two seemingly equal paths in life, may hesitate and try to forecast the effects of both choices. But ultimately, one person must pick one course. A person may even pretend that one choice is fairer than the other. This speaker thinks one choice looks better than the other, but as he begins the path, he realizes that both were really rather equal. Nonetheless, he makes the choice and is off in the new direction, knowing that as life is, once a choice is made, it's unlikely that he will ever go down the other road. Finally, the speaker notes that because the path has been chosen, that he will keep it special and positive in his heart always. When he's old and looking back, he will recall the forked road and know that he made the choice and tell himself the choice that he made was more unique than the one that he didn't. This journey will furnish the details if his decision is to take a less traveled route hadn't made his life much better. He knows he will decide to be content and pleased that the road not taken wasn't better than the road that he did take. So that is a restatement of decisive moments. A decisive moment is a powerful moment. You make a decision and it changes everything, restated in the concluding sentence saying he had made the right choice. He had decided that he'd made the right choice. So that's the end of the tutorial on how to analyze poetry. And then you can return to your poetry assignments. Remember, there are supports for you in the support file. Good luck, and that's all for the poetry analysis tutorial.